Qur'an chapter 92, Surah Al-Lail, Night, by Sayyid Qutb, translation by Muhammad Al-Amrani, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. By the night as it veils, and by the day as it reveals, and by the one who created the male and the female, verily, your efforts are diverse. As for those who give and are conscious of their sustainer and believe in the truth, we shall ease their path to ease. But as for those who hoard and deem themselves self-sufficient and deny the truth, we shall ease their path to hardship. And what will their wealth avail them when they fall? Indeed, upon us rests guidance, and to us belongs the hereafter and the first life. I warn you, therefore, of a blazing fire, which none shall enter but the most wretched, who denies and turns away. But the righteous shall be kept far from it, those who give their wealth to purify themselves, expecting no favour in return, but only seeking the countenance of their sustainer, the Most High, and soon they shall be content. In the grand theatre of the cosmos and the nature of humankind, this surah affirms the reality of deeds and their recompense. For this truth has many aspects, indeed your efforts are diverse. Thus those who give and fear God and believe in goodness, their path shall be made easy. This truth is expressed in two contrasting forms, and so the chosen framework at the beginning of the surah is also of two contrasting colours, both in the cosmos and within the self, by the night as it veils, and by the day as it reveals, and by the one who created the male and the female. This is among the marvels of the harmonious expression in the Qur'an. By the night as it veils, and by the day as it reveals, and by the one who created the male and the female. God, exalted is He, swears by these two signs, night and day, each with its own defining characteristic as depicted in the scene. The night as it veils the earth, covering it and concealing it, and the day as it reveals and brings forth all that was hidden, exposing everything in its brilliance. They are two opposing forces in the cycle of the cosmos, opposite in their appearance, opposite in their characteristics, opposite in their effects. Likewise, He swears by His creation of the two opposing genders, and by the one who created the male and the female, completing the theme of contrast in the atmosphere of the surah and all its truths. The night and day are universal phenomena, carrying a suggestion that speaks directly to the human heart, and they also hold another meaning when reflected upon and pondered. The soul is naturally affected by the alternation of night and day. The night as it envelops and covers, and the day as it reveals and exposes. This alternation carries a message and an implication, a message about this mysterious universe and about these phenomena over which humankind has no control, and an implication of the power that governs the moments of the cosmos as easily as turning a wheel, and that beyond this constant change lies a reality that never remains the same. Reflecting and pondering upon them leads to the undeniable conclusion that there is another hand directing this cosmos, alternating night and day with such precision and order. And the one who directs the cosmos in this way also directs human lives. He does not leave them aimless, just as He does not create them in vain. No matter how much the deniers and misleaders try to obscure this truth and divert attention from it, the human heart will always remain connected to this universe, receiving its rhythms, observing its changes, and inherently understanding, as it does through reflection, that there is a master behind it all, whom we cannot escape acknowledging, even beyond all idle talk and denial. And so is the creation of the male and female. In humans and mammals, it is a drop that settles in the womb, a cell that unites with an egg. Why then this difference in the end result? Who decrees that this one shall be male and that one female? Unveiling the factors that determine this does not change the reality. Why do these factors align here and those there? How does it happen that the becoming of one as male and the other as female aligns with the entire course of life and ensures its continuation through procreation once again? Chance? Even chance has a law, which makes it impossible for all these coincidences to occur by chance. There is no alternative but to acknowledge that there is a creator who fashions the male and female according to a well-defined wisdom and a clear purpose. There is no place for chance or randomness in the system of existence, and the male and female encompass all species beyond mammals. This principle is consistent in all living beings, including plants. A single law in creation never fails. Only the Creator, exalted is He, stands alone, unmatched by anything. These are some of the implications of those cosmic scenes and this human truth by which God swears for the magnitude of its meaning and the depth of its impact. The Quranic context makes this the framework for the truth of deeds and their recompense in this life and the hereafter. God swears by these opposing phenomena and truths in the cosmos and in people that human endeavours are diverse, their paths are diverse, and therefore their rewards are diverse as well. For good is not like evil, guidance is not like misguidance, righteousness is not like corruption. And the one who gives and fears God is not like the one who is miserly and deems himself self-sufficient, nor is the one who believes and affirms like the one who denies and turns away. Each has their path, each has their destiny, and each receives a fitting recompense. Indeed, your efforts are diverse, different in their essence, in their motives, in their direction, and in their results. The people of this earth differ in their natures, in their tastes, in their perceptions, and in their concerns, as if each of them is a unique world, living on a separate planet. This is a truth. But there is another truth, one that encompasses all the scattered masses of humanity, all these divergent worlds. It gathers them into two groups, into two opposing ranks, under two general banners, those who give and are conscious of God and believe in the truth, and those who are miserly and deem themselves self-sufficient and deny the truth. Those who give of themselves and their wealth, who fear the wrath of God and his punishment, and who affirm this faith, which is called the truth, and is known by that name. And those who withhold themselves and their wealth, who consider themselves independent of God and his guidance, and who deny this truth. These are the two ranks in which the scattered souls, the varied efforts, the diverse paths, and the different goals come together. Each has its path in this life, and each finds its guidance along that path. As for those who give and are conscious of God and believe in the truth, we shall ease their path to ease. The one who gives, fears God, and believes in the truth, has exerted all his efforts to purify and guide his soul. At that moment, he deserves the aid and guidance of God, which he has promised by his will and decree, without which nothing can be achieved and no human can do anything. And whoever God eases toward ease has indeed arrived with ease, gentleness, and tranquility. He has arrived while still on this earth and lived in ease. Ease flows from his soul to everything around him and to everyone around him. Ease in his steps, ease in his path, ease in his handling of all matters. Calm and assured guidance in all its aspects and details. It is a state that encompasses everything, aligning its possessor with the promise of the sustainer to his messenger, and we shall ease your way to ease. But as for those who are miserly and deem themselves self-sufficient and deny the truth, we shall ease their path to hardship. And what will their wealth avail them when they fall? The one who is miserly with himself and his wealth, who deems himself independent of his sustainer and his guidance, and who denies his call and his religion, reaches the utmost point of self-corruption. He deserves that God makes everything difficult for him, that he eases his way to hardship and guides him to every obstacle. He is deprived of every ease. In every step he takes there is difficulty and discomfort, steering him away from the path of righteousness, leading him up the path of wretchedness, even though he may believe he is walking the path of success. But he stumbles, and as he tries to avoid one fall, he is led into another, further distancing him from the path of God and his pleasure. And when he falls and plunges into the final depths of his errors and deviations, his wealth, which he hoarded and which made him feel independent of God and his guidance, will be of no avail to him. And what will their wealth avail them when they fall? The ease of sin and disobedience is indeed the ease to hardship, even if its possessor prospers in this world and survives. But is there anything more severe than hell? It is indeed the ultimate hardship. Thus ends the first section of the surah. Two paths, two methods for the masses of humanity in every time and place have become clear. It has become evident that they are two parties, two banners, no matter how varied and numerous the forms and colours. And every person determines for himself what he chooses. Then God makes his way easy for him, either to ease or to hardship. The second section speaks of the fate of each group, revealing the end of the journey for those whom God has made their way to ease, and for those whom he has made their way to hardship. And before everything else, it affirms that whatever each group meets of consequences and recompense is just and true, as it is a reality and a certainty. For God has made guidance clear to mankind and warned them of a fire that blazes. Indeed, it is for us to provide guidance, out of grace and mercy to our servants, so that the path of truth is clear to the hearts and minds of humankind. This guidance is made manifest through the messengers, the revelations and the signs, leaving no excuse for anyone and ensuring that no injustice befalls them. Verily, it is for us to provide guidance. And then comes the unwavering truth of the dominion that encompasses all people, from which none can escape, and to us belongs the hereafter and the former life. Where then can one go if they seek to flee far from God? And in light of God's self-imposed obligation to clarify the path for his servants, and given that the hereafter and this worldly life, both realms of recompense and action, belong to him, he reminds them that he has warned them. And so I have warned you of a fire that blazes, a fire that rages fiercely. None shall be cast into it, but the most wretched, those whose misery surpasses all others. And what greater misery is there than to be burned in the fire? But who is this wretched one? It is the one who denies and turns away, the one who rejects the call and turns away from it, who turns away from guidance and from the call of his sustainer, who promises to guide all who come to him in earnest. But the most God-conscious will be spared it, for he is the most blessed in contrast to the most wretched. And who is this most God-conscious one? It is the one who gives of his wealth to purify himself. He spends his wealth to cleanse himself, not for show or to elevate his status. He gives freely, not in repayment of any favour, nor seeking gratitude from anyone, but solely seeking the pleasure of his exalted sustainer. And none has any favour to be repaid by him, but only the seeking of the countenance of his sustainer, the Most High. And then what? What awaits this most God-conscious one, who gives his wealth for purification, and seeks only the face of his exalted sustainer? The reward that the Qur'an presents to the believing soul here is astonishing, unexpected, and beyond the ordinary, and soon he shall be well pleased. It is contentment that fills the heart of this God-conscious one. It is contentment that floods his soul. It is contentment that overflows into his actions. It is contentment that pervades his entire being. It is contentment that blesses his life. What a reward! What a great blessing! And soon he shall be well pleased. Pleased with his faith, pleased with his sustainer, pleased with his destiny, pleased with his share, pleased with whatever he finds of joy and sorrow, of wealth and poverty, of ease and hardship, of prosperity and adversity. He is content, and so he neither worries nor feels constrained, nor does he hasten or feel burdened, nor does he see the goal as distant. This contentment is a reward, greater than any other reward, a reward that befits one who has devoted himself and his wealth to God, who gives to purify himself, and who seeks only the face of his exalted sustainer. This is a reward that only God can bestow, and he pours it into the hearts of those who are sincere to him, who see no one but him. And soon he shall be well pleased. He is content, for he has paid the price. He has given what he could. It is a surprise, but one that is anticipated by the most God-conscious, who gives of his wealth to purify himself, and who seeks no favour from anyone, only the face of his exalted sustainer. And soon he shall be well pleased.